So today we're gonna try something totally different from the CrossGen podcast.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna do something
Right.
completely different. Um, if you guys are on our YouTube channel, you'll actually be able to see us because
Well,
this is our first video podcast. Yes, E. Show them that
No
finger.
way.
Show them
No
that
way.
finger.
That's crazy.
oh my god.
The
No
video
way.
podcast inaugural recording of CrossGen. It only took us what 67 episodes in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically.
so but now everybody gets to see our ugly face.
Yep.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Anyway, this is the sound check because CrossGen loves to throw their sound checks, or in this case, video
Video
check.
check. Yo, no way.
Hey,
Video check.
No
video
way.
check. And video before we started this podcast, we were again kind of geeking out on Elden Ring. Elden Ring, I've I've gotten a little bit further. I think AJ is still the one furthest ahead.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably.
Eli knows the most about Elden Ring, but he's kind of lagging behind because of the fact that he's got so much freaking homework to do.
Hmm.
And I'm kind of in the middle. And
Yep.
so I just opened up Volcano Manor and the Mountaintop of the Giants. Um, like I said, AJ is way further ahead, right?
Did
You
you
opened
get
up.
the consecrated snowfields? Did you get the Helix tree?
I don't
He
think so.
doesn't even know what those
I
are,
have no
probably.
idea what that is. So that
Yeah.
means yes. Again, you're way ahead. We know this. But the reason I want to talk about Elden Ring is because AJ on our other podcast, the Get Geek podcast, mentioned a very interesting thing about Elden Ring and one of its players who's kind of gotten insta famous, right?
Yeah,
Because of it.
I'd say he's pretty famous. Like it's like I said on the I was about to say CrossGen on Get Geek. Literally when I was on Twitter telling you guys about it,
Hmm.
the two posts I was referencing, the one with the little statuette of him, and the other one with like a kind of silly yet cool comic fan art, they were going up by like the hundreds and in some cases the thousands in terms of likes and retweets. It was
That's crazy.
nuts.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Dude is blowing up.
Hmm. That's pretty interesting. And
Yeah.
what exactly like has he done to like become insta famous? I guess.
Well, it's like we mentioned earlier in the other sound check. He's there for players who are like struggling against Melania,
Hmm.
and he like every single time, again, never heard a complaint, does solo Melania
Jesus Christ.
with nothing but a Rivers of Blood katana, a katana I don't know the name of in the offhand, and a jar on his head. Nothing
And a
else.
diaper.
Yes, and a
And a
And a
diaper.
diaper. Dude's wearing
Jesus
a diaper.
Christ.
Come on, that's like the most interesting part of it, right? Forget about the weapons, forget about the jar on his head. He's
He has a
wearing a
diaper.
diaper and
yes.
nothing else.
It's currently a stigma in the Elden Ring community that you don't fear the players that have all these maxed out armors and stuff. You fear the people with no armor
Yeah.
who go into the fight.
That
Jesus
is kind of
Christ.
wild. That is kind of wild. So, and he's got a nickname, right? He's not.
Yes.
So the players, when you play Elden Ring, you're part of a group or I guess an association called the Tarnished, right?
Yes.
This guy though,
He
this guy is
has
special.
the nickname moniker the Jarnished.
The Jarnet. Oh my God. That's so. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's amazing though.
No, it's not.
Yes it
The Jarnish.
is.
That's so whack.
It's
No.
amazing.
All
Jesus
right, hey,
Christ.
listen. Props to the Jarnished on Elden Ring. And that,
So
my
whack.
friends, is our first video sound check. after that very, very, very lengthy sound check, we can actually start the show.
Yes.
So, welcome to the CrossGen podcast. Hi, guys. My name is Walt. I'm your host as always, and I'm joined by my two sons, who are also the hosts of this awesome little podcast. It's AJ and Eli. Guys, say hello.
Goodbye.
Hello. What's up?
Goodbye.
Gosh. Oh gosh.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi. Hi.
Yes, it works. It works. Okay. We just lost Eli with his hand because he has a huge hand or whatever. But anyway, yes, we love Elden Ring. We just talked about Elden Ring. I do have to mention one thing. Um, YouTube user Sean Messler, we hear you. He was kind enough to drop some two comments on our YouTube channel. I'm gonna read them out to you guys, and you guys can comment on this. The very first one was, well, you can still get to the last rune farm if you don't do white mask quests. There's a teleporter in Mountaintop of Giants that takes you there. That's what I did. And his second comment, which was cool, the meteorite staff does scale to S from jump. It can't be upgraded. It just can't be upgraded. So,
You have
dude
hope,
knows what he's talking
Nelson.
about.
You have
Dude knows
hope,
what he's talking about.
Nelson.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Now I have hope. I thought I was like doomed for eternity. So I couldn't go to the last rune farm, but whatever.
Oh, there you go. So,
Yeah. Finally.
um, Sean, thank you for your comments. It's going to help Eli immensely because he wants to get to that rune farm. And
Yeah.
because he's just a straight out murderer of people in Elden Ring
That was
instead of
kind of my
just.
fault, also, but
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
Well, my
He
two
caught.
kids
He
are
was the reason.
murderers.
He was the reason why I killed White Mask Vare,
Yeah,
and
because
also
he saw
because
how hard it was for me to fight him, and I just kind of got triggered by his opening statement.
so did I. So I mean,
What, that you guys are maidenless?
Yeah.
maidenless. No maidens.
No maidens?
Bro.
Well, thanks to Sean Messler, he's provided the path forward for you,
Mhm.
so you can get to that rune farm. You really need it because you need to catch up, right?
Yeah,
You
I'm only
are,
like 40, like around 48, 48 or so.
and your character's name is Nelson.
Yeah, it's kind of a whack name, no lie, but I
Well, you
mean,
can
it is
change
what
it
it is.
later.
Yes, actually, no. There's another way you can change it, actually.
Oh,
Wait,
really?
really?
At the night, I just recently discovered this. I don't know if this was triggered by anything, but if you go to where Fia is, there's a mirror in her room. In that
Hmm.
mirror, it will give you the option to apply cosmetics.
It's
And as we
probably
know, apply cosmetics means change your name, change the way you look. I went into it and looked.
All right then. So,
hmm,
hey, E, you have a chance. So Nelson obviously isn't working for you anymore. Any thoughts on a proper name for your
Sir,
character?
Samurai Jack. Yes, sir. Let's get it,
Oh, so you're
Samurai
gonna
Jack.
transfer that name from that other character you made?
Yes, but I need a samurai build first. So I mean, I already have the Uchi Gutana anyway. So
Yeah, there you go. So that's the beauty of Elden Ring. You can start out as one thing and change to another, right?
hmm
Yeah, plus when
So
you get to Renala, you can do that whole redistribution thing anyway.
yeah, you can redistribute your stats. So you're no longer stuck with what you did before and then realize, oh man, I messed up. I should have poured more into this thing than that thing.
yeah,
So E, you have hope.
yep,
You have hope in Elden Ring. Now you just got to get through homework. Finish that homework.
yeah.
So
I'll try.
well, we're on spring break this week, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll have time to catch up on Elden Ring, and
Watch.
finally
By
beats.
the time that the week's finished, Eli is probably going to be at level like 500. You know.
I want to kill everybody already, cause I gotta start grinding. And you know what? I'm actually not gonna go into any rune farms. I just said
Really?
no. I'm not. I'm
Why?
not gonna play it like that. Huh? That seems too easy. I
But it's
want
going
to
to take
start.
you forever to get to those higher levels now.
No, my friend, you don't need to be at a higher level to beat any of the bosses.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to kill.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's gonna be torture, but I mean, I could do it. Maybe.
Eli likes torture.
What the heck? Oh man,
Well, you heard the guy that beat the game with
at level
level
one.
1, right?
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
guess I guess it is possible, but
it's very possible.
hey, what do you want? So anyway, like I said, thanks to YouTuber Sean Melsler for giving us those nuggets of information, and like I said, it's going to help Eli immensely because, well, I don't know, because now he doesn't want to do the rune farm. So what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
anyway, like I
Let's
said,
see.
if you do decide, then you've got that tip. So there you
Hmm.
go.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. So okay. So moving on. Today we have a pretty specific topic, right?
Hmm.
We're moving like 180 degrees away from Elden Ring at this point. Although we will come back. I think we did say we were going to come back like a month later to do like a an end game type
Final.
of thing. So hopefully we can get there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, AJ.
Thanks.
Get some
Yes.
coffee, man.
Yeah.
Get some coffee.
Yeah, well, this I'm used to not being on a camera, okay? So I
Yeah.
can yawn to
Neither
my
am
heart's
I.
content.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, so guys, what are we talking about today?
What are we talking about?
You
What
don't
are we
know?
talking
You
about?
really don't know? Okay, so
Actually,
let me give you a hint.
what
You
are
know
we?
that guy that they said won a Grammy? He really didn't.
Huh?
What?
What?
Grammys, you
Who?
know, music. That
Yes,
guy
we
didn't really
know
win it.
that.
I'm genuinely
Huh?
confused
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
I'm lost here.
What's
Yeah,
going on?
Eli.
Explain, please.
So, like, the fake media reported that Tyler the Creator was actually given a fake Grammy.
Yes, sir. The Tyler the Creator. I'm pretty sure he won a Grammy like
Yeah,
not too
but the
long
fake
ago.
news said it was a fake Grammy.
Who's the fake news?
I'm just teasing him. I'm just
Oh
teasing
my
him.
god, bro. There's a
You
lot
actually
of
had me
people.
going there for a second.
Yeah. There's a
Like,
lot of people who won the Grammys, no lie. Like I think what's it? Samuel L. Jackson, he got a Grammy for like the day that no, not a Grammy. I don't and either an
That's an
Oscar.
Oscar. That's
Yeah, an
different.
Oscar. Okay, okay. Yeah. But yeah. That's besides the point. Anyway, Tyler the Creator, I'm pretty sure he got a Grammy as well as I don't know if J. Cole got one. I'm
Okay,
not
but
too sure about that.
now the
But
question is, why do you
what does
get a
that have to
Grammy? Why do you get a Grammy?
huh?
Why do you get a Grammy? Why?
For music, I would guess.
We're talking about music.
Oh, that's what oh
that is a segue. That's a pretty good segue there.
There you
yeah.
Exactly.
go.
I was confused. I didn't know what we were talking about. Like legitimately. I genuinely forgot.
Dude,
Huh.
didn't you want to do music? Wasn't that
Ye-
like your idea?
Yeah, I was like maybe, but here we are. Let's do it. Let's get
Let's
into it,
do it.
right?
So
Let's get into it.
what exactly about music? Because music is kind of like a huge topic, a huge category. What exactly about music will we be talking about?
Hmm. What are we talking about in terms of music? Are we talking
Right.
about like I guess we could talk about like favorite albums, favorite
Yeah, I think
artists.
that's what it
And
is,
what
right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
constitutes a good album, quote unquote?
Well,
Oh,
I
so
have
like
my thoughts. I have at least two favorite albums of mine.
wait, so do you guys like follow albums first off? Like do you guys you know
Well, see, it's a little
Well,
it's a little different now because back in the days, right?
yeah.
And back in my old days where dinosaurs roamed the land and, you know, there was volcanoes on like Main Street and stuff like that. There was
What the hell?
I'm just saying there wasn't anything like streaming services, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you either had to buy the album straight up or you would buy like these little cassettes that had singles on it,
Mm-hmm.
or you just kind of record everything off the radio. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
used to do it, you know. Nowadays, it's a little bit different because you don't have to buy the entire album to listen to the song you want to hear, right?
Mhm.
You can go on Spotify or Apple Music and just press like and put that in your playlist. So
Yeah.
albums nowadays are a little bit different in terms of the
A
way
bit,
people collect music,
Yeah.
right?
a
Yeah,
bit.
I would think so.
Yeah.
But like okay, so like what do you guys first off, what do you guys think consists what do you think makes a good album? First off, I just want to throw that out there.
Well, first of all, replayability, first and foremost for me.
Replay value always comes first, no lie.
Yeah,
I won't even yeah.
that's indisputable. I think the other thing that kind of makes or breaks an album for me is kind of like themes and how well like
Mhm.
everything sort of blends together. It doesn't have to do so perfectly, but like as long as there's like a sort of overarching theme that can bring everything together. That I find that important too.
Mm.
Cuz after all, songwriting is a form of storytelling also.
Yeah. It's like yeah, it is now that you think of it, right? So yeah, I would agree with that. You know, like lyrics and stuff like that is sort of like really what brings together an album because otherwise you're hearing the music but you're not actually listening to it. I would at least for me, that's what I feel like.
Well,
No.
I think for me also, an album, just to add on to what AJ's saying, an album is important and awesome for me if there's no filler. Because
Filler.
yeah, because you know what, there are some albums, I hate to say it, where there's like two or three great songs and then the rest of them are kind of like crappy.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I like an album where from track 1 to track 12, I'm vibing on all of the songs, all of the music, and
Yeah.
the examples that I have are exactly like that, because the last thing you want to do is put on an album and then, oh, I like that song, oh, this song sucks, oh, I like that
Mm,
song, oh, this one's kind of okay, oh, I like this song.
yeah.
I want to be able to put an album and just put it on, let it go, and then that's it, right?
Mhm.
So that's pretty important for me.
Yeah. So I mean, I would have to agree with that. Um, definitely for me, I already said like I mean, I already spoke a little bit on lyrics, but also like just if it's vibeable, like you said, it's sort of like what you said, just as like it has to give me like good vibes, and I mean not good vibes, but it like I don't know, it's like something to vibe to. That's what I have to say, I guess.
Like, you don't want to listen to an album that you're completely depressed afterwards.
No, it's not that, but it's like it's basically what you said in a nutshell. That's what I'm trying to say.
No filler,
No filler, no
all
filler.
thriller.
Yes. I mean, fillers are sometimes enjoyable.
Eh,
Like I
eh.
mean, I guess it sort of changes now because now you have like way different music such as like Tyler the Creator where you have like maybe like a one like 40-second song that's just weird stuff, but I don't know, I don't know.
Okay,
40
Yeah.
I guess.
seconds.
Yeah, there nowadays I started to realize that in some albums there are just like songs that don't necessarily they just have the one purpose just to introduce you to the album. Not necessarily like
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
but they
kind of like an opener. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
they've
yeah.
done
familiar with
they've done
that.
that in the past also.
Oh, well
You
yeah,
know.
that's I mean sometimes it's enjoyable if that makes sense. Like but I mean anyway.
Yeah, sometimes
Um
sometimes those intros have a nice little beat that goes along with it.
mhm,
You know, so yeah, I can see where you're coming from on that.
yeah.
So now that we've kind of defined what a good album is, what is a good album for you guys? Like, which
Mm,
ones? Which ones are you kind of vibing on?
Well, I guess I'll go first. Mine's is kind of not fair to the conversation because,
mhm.
like,
Why?
Yeah, how do you
I'm
feel
more
that?
so gonna mention an artist than one
Yeah.
specific album.
that's fine.
because
Whoa,
this
changing the
one
rules here.
Hmm.
What's going
because
Changing the
on?
rules. You can't
because
do that.
let me explain myself. Because with this artist, whenever I listen to them, or what I've noticed, because I create playlists. Everyone creates playlists, so
Yeah,
you got to
everybody
live
does.
under a
Yeah.
rock if you don't create a playlist. Sorry for those people who don't.
What's the playlist?
Whenever I'm looking up their new stuff, this particular artist, there's nary a time where I go, you know what? I just like one or two songs from this album. I'm just gonna put that on the album.
Hmm.
I normally, for the most part, download every single track on that album, essentially adding the whole album to this one playlist. That's literally
So,
dedicated just to this artist.
Eli, I think we can pretty much guess which artist,
Yeah, I already
which
knew. I already
which
knew which one you were
band
talking about.
he's talking about, right?
Yeah,
That's pretty obvious. But
yeah.
we'll let AJ kind of reveal that we know so well already.
Hmm.
Yeah, if you know me, these two obviously know also. It's Metallica. It just
Metallica,
is.
of
It
course. It
just
had to
is.
be. You're a super huge fan of Metallica. Metallica. I said Metallica. Um.
Is that like the talcum powder form of Metallica?
Oh God, what the
Metallica.
hell?
What
What the heck is
the?
talcum? What's talcum powder?
As a
The
baby,
hell?
you should know because I spread it all over your butts
What
when
the
you were
heck?
kids.
I don't need to
What?
know
It's
that.
Yeah, we
baby
don't
What?
need to
powder.
know
It's
that. We're
baby
good.
powder. It's baby powder.
I
No, why would you?
don't want to
What?
know. I want to steer the conversation away from that, please.
Come on, put that vision in your head.
Oh
No,
Put that
God,
no,
vision in
come
your
Andre,
head.
on.
your favorite
Stop.
band is now
Yes, no,
Baby Powder.
It's Metallica. It's Metallica. Okay.
Metallica.
Um,
It's Metallica.
Jesus.
Yes.
Just like, oh man, I
Metallica,
have
Metallica, by the
literally.
way, Metallica, by the way, is the Jarnish's favorite
Oh
No, it's not.
band.
No,
no.
it's not.
Oh
No, it's not.
no.
Don't even bring the
Yes.
Cause
Jarnished
he
into
Yes,
this.
wears the
it is.
Don't
diaper.
don't even bring the Jarnished into this.
You know
Poor
it. You
guy
know it. You know it.
does not need to be included in this particular
Metallica
part of the
and the
conversation.
Jarness. Metallica and the Jarnish.
Okay.
But
Anyway, anyway,
like,
anyway.
Anyway,
basically every track from every album: Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, the Black Album, and Justice for All.
Hmm.
Despite not everyone maybe having the same opinions about this album, Saint Anger too,
Hmm.
Death Magnetic, you obviously can't forget S&M.
Hmm.
That's
So,
a super awesome one, and if you don't like it, I will fight you.
damn.
mm,
Okay.
mm.
So, but like, which one out of like all the albums do you
Yeah,
find
you got
like?
to pick one.
All
You got to
Yeah.
right,
pick at least one.
if I had to pick one, I I would be normally inclined to say S&M, but that seems too obvious the choice, and
Hmm.
I think I'm gonna have to go with "And Justice for All." Actually,
Is that the
um,
one with like the
the lady with
girl holding
the
the
Lady Justice with the
bouncing stick?
scales.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
just say it.
that's the one with one, right? Or are there
Yep,
multiple
that's the
albums?
one with one. The
Damn.
only
Okay,
time
that's a
you
good
see
choice.
That is my
one,
favorite one.
that's the only other time you really see one is obviously in like the when they record live shows like Binge and
Hmm.
Purge and S&M.
Yeah.
But like, as far as like when it first came out, which one it came from, it is "And Justice for All." That was 88, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm gonna go double check that so
What?
that I can
Yes, it
keep.
is.
1988?
1988 is
What?
the release date.
That's old
Yes.
as hell.
Hmm
That's
Yeah.
old as hell, bro.
Listen,
The hell?
Metallica's been around for a long
I
time.
mean, yeah, I figured, but
They
like
started
Long time.
out
88?
somewhere in the realm of 81 and 82, if I remember correctly.
That's old as hell, bro. No lie. Damn.
Yeah, I think their first album
Was Kill 'Em All.
was
That's another one I have on that playlist.
Kill 'em
No,
all.
believe it or not, it's not.
Really?
Oh,
Their first album was No Life Till Leather back in 1982. Kill 'Em All was released in 1983.
oh no, Andre's
Ouch!
face.
I've just been put to shame. Oh
Oh
no.
man.
Well, you've been put to shame by Google because I didn't know that. I just happened to be looking it up.
God damn you,
I didn't know
Google.
that either.
So, but yeah, that was kind of their first album. They had 7 tracks on that album,
Damn. 7 only?
7 only. Seek and Destroy was
Well,
on that album.
those are ones that would that sounds like ones that would eventually make their way to Kill 'Em All though, because
Yep.
that's on Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
Seek and
So,
Destroy. That's such a goated song, no lie.
but there you go. Little piece of Metallica trivia that AJ didn't know. So we've
So
kind of
like,
stumped the Metallica expert here.
yeah. So like, real quick, just give like really quick impressions. Why did you like that album so much?
Well, what really kind of drew me to it was how like Ride the Lightning, like all of the Metallica albums are they're pretty dark. I'll give you that.
Hmm.
Like in terms of like in terms of themes. Like you look at Ride the Lightning, the track itself. It's basically about putting a dude to the electric chair. You know what I mean?
Damn,
And
that's
so,
dark.
do you know the story of one though? Like actually looked at the lyrics.
I mean,
Like
I've
it's
looked at the
about
lyrics.
It's about war.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's about a dude who goes to war and he basically gets hit by this shell and loses like next to everything. The
Oh.
ability to feel, sight, taste, hearing,
Mm,
all of it. And it's just like basically like can I end it now, please? It's a little it's really really like damn. And
mm,
just I kind of liked how I to me and Justice for All kind of felt like the darkest and like the most hopeless because
mm,
like now you're not even going just like you're not only talking about like what's it people getting put to death and whatnot.
mhm,
You're also looking at justice. Oh my
mm,
god, the stuff that's supposed to protect us is not really protecting us. Oh
mm,
boy, like
Yeah, that kind of
stuff
sucks.
like that. um that's what really drew me to like end justice for all.
mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have the super sweet instrumental To Live Is To Die. And look, there's another morbid name.
To Live Is to Die. It's very
It's
morbid,
just
these albums.
it's just so but like and Justice for All for me is like the peak of their morbid, in my
Mm,
personal opinion.
mm.
They were going
Okay.
under a really dark period probably when they were kind of writing the lyrics to this album, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could kind of see why cuz unfortunately what was it? Maybe an album or two before this cuz when they released Master of Puppets is around the time their first bassist Cliff Burton died.
Hmm.
Mm,
So,
Yeah, so that probably
and
bled into their writing,
yeah.
yeah.
you know. That kind of
Anyway,
sucks. All right.
uh, I mean, that seems pretty lit, I guess. No, it's not lit. No, 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 no.
Okay,
I
well,
meant like, no, I meant the album or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
the album is lit. It's very morbid and dark, but it's lit because it has some fire. It has some bangers, no lie.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Anyway,
So, what about you, E?
okay.
You might as
J.
well go
Cole, I
next.
already know.
It's not J Cole.
Tyler the
Give me.
Creator.
Yes, it is Tyler the
Yeah, I
Creator.
knew it. I knew it.
I mean, bro. Okay, huh?
Okay,
I
but
mean,
I guessed the artist. I did not guess the album.
Yeah,
So
what
I will
particular
leave that to you.
album?
uh, it's probably going to be. I think it's what is it? Igor. I don't even know the title of the album. Igor. It seems like yeah, that's the album. It's Igor by Tyler the Creator because every
Igor.
yeah Igor.
Igor.
Yeah, it's very weird. He has some definitely weird songs. I know I tried to put you AJ onto Tyler Creator and I played some Igor songs.
It's a little too out there
Too
for
weird.
me. even for me.
Damn. I don't know. But like Igor is like for me it's like so well produced. It's not necessarily the lyrics can be a little bit you know, it's a little bit wonky sometimes. Like you'll have sometimes in like his songs where he'll just say the most random stuff ever. But like overall there's like a theme that plays throughout the entire album, and to me it's just so well like composed, I guess. From beginning to end he tells a story about like him and like his whole, I guess you could say, like his love life and how he wanted to, like, I think that was it. He was trying to get with somebody but at the end he couldn't or something like that. But I mean, it's like each song is just so well produced. You have Earthquake. Yes, that's him with like the
What in
crazy art.
Oblivion?
He
That's the
is
special cover, right?
I guess the main cover is here, let me show it. The main cover is this. Basically a, okay, if that'll work. But I mean, one of my favorite songs on that album, probably like either Gone Gone Thank You. This is the album, by the way.
No,
Hmm.
It's
so it's
fire
kind of
as
like
hell.
the vaporwave type thing.
Yeah, it's like the thing about it is that it's its own genre. Basically, it's very like vapor wavy. Sometimes he uses a lot of like electronic-y '90s sort of elements to it, and you know it's just so different to me that it's actually pretty good. And he switches from like singing to rapping sometimes, and it's just so fire. That's all I gotta say, bro. Like, and
Well,
especially like I said, Gone Gone Thank You. It has such a beautiful beat switch up that's just amazing.
well, it's his fifth album. It took him 2 years to create. He released it in May of 2019,
Yeah.
and he's got some guest appearances on it. He's got Playboy Cardi, Little Uzi
Yes,
Vert,
sir. Yes,
Solange,
sir.
Kanye West, and Jared Carmichael.
Yeah.
So the genre kind of like what you were saying. The
Hmm.
genre is hip hop, funk, R&B, and neo soul. So
Yeah.
it's like a little bit of
Neo
everything when it
soul.
comes to that.
Hmm.
It's
You know.
out there. It's outlandish, but it's fire if you actually like get to listen to it. It's more about the vibes, sometimes the lyrics, but yeah,
Yeah. Well,
that's yeah.
critical acclaim to this album. I mean, everybody went nuts over it.
Hmm.
It's listed as 54th on the top 100 best albums of the 2010s.
Yeah,
You know,
like I
so
said,
it's pretty up there.
yeah.
You
He
know,
has some, like every song on that album is basically a banger. Um, so there's not really like any song that's not that good. Um, every song is just like crazy. It's
and
just masterpiece.
it debuted at number one on the Billboard 200.
And I believe he won best hip hop album for Igor too.
Hmm.
So
That
Yes,
is
he won. He
impressive.
won. He won best rap album at the 2020 Grammy Awards.
so
But there was some controversy with that
mm,
because Tyler, the creator himself, he didn't think it was a hip hop album. He thought it should have been in the pop category.
yeah,
Oh.
that's sort
Oh,
of,
So
well.
people were
yeah.
kind of criticizing, the people in the Grammys as saying that putting his album into the rap and urban categories was racially motivated and kind of like a backhanded compliment to him.
Racially
Wow.
motivated.
So
Oh,
so
I forget.
it
That's a
didn't
joke to you somehow.
yeah
Yeah,
it didn't
but
come without controversy, this album.
yeah, I mean every song on his albums are all controversy. Like I remember when you had Edgy Tyler the Creator with Goblin, he was saying some outlandish weird stuff, like especially on She and Yonkers. But I
Hmm.
mean that's besides the point. Overall, Igor is just a masterpiece. Just in general, I don't see how anybody could hate on his music. It's just different.
Okay.
So yeah,
All
that's
right.
It's built different.
built. Oh my god, don't say that again. Do not say that again ever. That is so horrible.
Oh boy.
So anyway,
Wait, you don't like the video where the dude's going like he has the egg there and he goes,
yeah.
"I'm built different."
Oh my god, that's so horrible. Jesus Christ.
Bro.
Oh my
dude,
god.
dude. All right, so I'm gonna hit you with my favorite album because I have a couple. I'm gonna blend two of them together because they're kind of the same, and AJ kind of spoke about it already. But I
Yeah,
have to put
that's why
two.
I stayed away from that one. I figured you were gonna
Yeah,
use that.
I have two albums that I'm gonna pick from Metallica's kind of their whatever, right?
The repertoire.
Their repertoire. Obviously, you got to put the Black Album in there. The
Yeah,
Black Album to me is a masterpiece of just songwriting and just the songs that are on there. They're all iconic. I mean, even if you're not a Metallica fan, you've heard some of the songs on the Black Album. That's just the way
Yeah.
it is. They use them for movies, they use them for commercials, you hear it on the radio. I mean, that the songs on even in wrestling, even in wrestling they use Metallica songs. You know, in particular, "Enter the Sandman" was a huge song that was used in ECW back in its day. You know,
Mm,
so just for that, and like I said, I'm a big fan of albums that don't have filler, and there is pretty much every song on that album, every track on an album is great. The other
mm,
one, and again, AJ probably already knows the answer to this one, but that's going to be the S&M album.
there we
I
go.
thought
There
it
we
it
go.
took a lot of Metallica's greatest hits and kind of re-energized that and re-transformed it with having the symphony behind it, right?
mhm,
And that to me, like, my favorite song of all time for Metallica is the one that you mentioned before, which is One. And listening to it on the S&M album, there's a part of me that says that that version should be the definitive version of One in my mind.
mm,
That's how good some of these I don't want to say covers because that's not exactly what it is. Reimagining of these songs. That's
Yeah.
how good some of them are on this S&M album. And like I said, it's basically like a greatest hits album for Metallica. So there's definitely not going to be any filler on that. So that's the one. Those are the two albums in my mind that I just love. And I've using Spotify, I downloaded every song on there, and so that to me is like the real awesomeness of those two albums.
mm.
The other one is an album that came back way back in 2000. And there's some older albums, but you
Way
know what?
back in 2000.
Yeah, I know.
1988 is way back.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? It's funny because back in the days, I never used to collect albums. I used to collect singles, right? And
Mm,
I did a lot of mixtapes, just getting music off the radio. So there were times that I would just sit by the radio and just hit record on the tape recorder and try and get it so that the guy that was speaking, the DJ, just shut it off right before he said anything and kind of tried to blend it with the other songs that I was recording. So I would create like a 60-minute mixtape just like that. That's how I
mm,
used to do it. So, I didn't have enough money to go out and buy albums, so that's how I listened to music, right?
mhm,
But in 2000, an album came out that was so incredible in terms of not just not being filler, but almost every single song on that album was amazing. And that was Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park.
yes, sir. Yes,
That
sir.
Okay.
album to me was straight, to use Eli's word, that was straight fire. There were I listen, I didn't buy the vinyl album, but I did buy the tape. That tape I used it so much that it broke. And
Wow.
because that's how much I used to listen to it. I mean, I replay it over and over and over and over again, and it was just an amazing, amazing album. And it's sad to say that Chester Bennington,
Yeah.
who was the one of the lead singers, passed away because he had issues. Unfortunately, he had issues that he couldn't rectify with himself, but he was like super talented. And I remember I actually went to go see the Hybrid Theory tour, right? When
Mhm.
they were playing, I think it was at either Madison Square Garden, I can't remember. And the one thing that I remember was I was amazed at how Chester would sing and not lose his voice.
Yeah, he's
Jesus Christ.
very like, and this is the one time I'll say screaming is like acceptable. The dude could pull off the scream sing and not make me want to turn it off.
Yeah, it was lyrical,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
But the thing that really got me was that yeah, he's doing it for this particular performance, but he's on tour. So the
Yeah.
next night
Oh
he's doing the same
no.
thing,
Yeah.
and then 2 nights after that he's doing the same thing. I was like, how in the world does this guy, he's got a talent obviously, right? But how
Yeah.
in the world does he go on tour like that, and then he, you're kind of abusing your voice box there, right? The way that he used
Yeah,
to do
that's
it.
vocal cord torture.
But it was
Damn.
amazing how this guy did it. And I saw him again in Ozfest. Those they were there along with who was there? It was Ozzy Osbourne, obviously. Um it was System of a Down was there. Linkin Park was there. All these great bands. Shinobi versus Ninja was there. All these great, great bands. And like I said, I always came out and I'm like, Linkin Park knocked it out of the park again. So for me, Linkin Park was amazing. And that was a no filler album. All of their songs were great. That to
Facts.
me is like one of the best albums of all time, you know.
Mm.
So, and I think if I remember correctly, and it's funny because it was released in October, so right around my birthday.
Huh.
Damn.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I
Very
mean,
interesting.
how many did it win any awards? I think it did.
Had to. It had to. There's no way it couldn't
Well, it
have.
debuted number 16 straight away, and
Mm.
this was kind of like one of their first albums. It was the best selling album of the year. They sold 4.8 million copies in the year 2000.
That's a
Um,
lot for that
That
time.
and
is a lot.
it continued 2 years later. They were selling 100,000 copies a week. You know what I'm
Damn.
saying?
Dang.
Um, it ended up it ended up selling by 2005 10 million copies just in the United States. Um, Worldwide, it sold 27 million copies, making it the best selling debut album of the 21st century. So, I
Dang.
mean,
That
dude,
is wow.
dude, you
Crazy.
know, it's
Yeah,
just,
crazy's the word for it.
yeah, it's one of
Yeah.
the biggest, albums of all time, at least for a debut. Because think about it, this
Mm.
was their first album, their very first album.
That was their
And it was
first? What?
Yes, that was their very,
No,
very
that
first
no.
album. Yes, it is.
No, that isn't.
That's what I
You
said.
can't make a debut that good, bro.
That's what I'm
Wow.
saying. It's the best-selling
Nah,
debut
I'm
album
looking at I
in
gotta
the
No.
I'm looking at their
21st
discography
century.
right now. I'm gonna look at their discography right
Good.
now.
Their
No, that
very first
Linkin
album.
Park.
no.
Let's
Andre
see
had to
Yeah.
here.
please fact check that.
Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
20,
I'm
2000.
waiting. I'm here for that.
No.
2000.
Yo.
2000 was their first official album.
It was Hybrid
That is
Theory.
crazy.
And I remember listening to it. I'm like, wow, this is an amazing album. I mean, literally they put all their best hits, and that you can say that that's a greatest hits album right there, because I mean they made some other really good albums and really good songs after that, but if you look at just on value alone, the type of songs that were on that, you can't I don't think there's another album out there that even comes close to that, right?
No,
Especially when it's the first album that they've ever made. It's
Oh
no
my
facts.
amazing.
gosh, bro.
Yo, damn.
It's just 27 million copies around the world, and then they went ahead and did another anniversary edition, which probably sold another buttload of records and stuff like that. But
Jesus.
that to me is going to be the top on my list in terms of favorite albums of all time.
That
Mm,
certainly sounds like it deserves to be.
yes. Jesus Christ. Hybrid Theory was like freaking amazing. No lie.
Yeah, I mean, that's those songs are awesome,
Mm.
and I know the lyrics to all of them. I'm not gonna sing it because I don't want to kill our audience. You
Oh
know,
God.
they're gonna be listening to this podcast, and all of
Ba-
a sudden
ba- da-
I'm gonna
ba-
start
da-
singing,
da- da-
and
da- ba-
they're all just
ba- da-
gonna die.
ba- da- 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 da.
It's like a riot.
It'll literally be like this. That they're listening. Oh, you know, this great podcast. Listen, they're talking about Lincoln Park. Oh no, the guy's about to talk.
Everything you say to
Oh
me.
God.
Dead,
Jesus Christ.
dead,
Yo.
That's horrible.
dead. So I'm not going to subject our listeners to that.
Mm.
So I'm thinking about you guys. Thinking about you guys. So
Yes.
those are mine. Is there any other albums that you can think of on the top of your head right now? Now that we've been talking about it, I mean, there's System of a Down has another great
Yeah,
album set.
they do.
Um, you could talk about hip hop. There's jazz.
Excuse me while I
Um,
reference my Spotify account
oh
really
look,
quick.
he's checking. He's checking. He's
I
checking.
got I
What
got
about
like
you, Ian?
two. I got like two
Is this albums or is this artists?
albums.
Okay.
And Andre, I know you said it earlier, J. Cole. It's gotta
Yep.
be one of J. Cole's
I
albums.
also saw that coming too.
I gotta say,
You
like,
just didn't say it at the beginning because you didn't want to give him the
no,
satisfaction,
I
right?
didn't. I didn't. I didn't.
That's what it was. Come on. That's what it was.
But J. Cole is just too good. Like, no lie. Um, I think my favorite one. It's not the off season, because that was like it was good, but I feel like his best album is probably gonna be 2014 Forest Hill Drive, because that song had slappers, no lie. Like each song was good. You had I think one of my favorites was apparently you've heard that, Andre. And obviously No Role Models is like so fire. It's like a classic. So I mean, I would say that J. Cole's 2014 Forest Hill Drive is pretty good. And I
All right.
guess real quick, my last one would probably be uh damn. I think it's excuse me while I reference Apple Music actually.
Apple Music. Okay.
What? What's wrong with Apple Music? Huh?
I'm just saying they don't have as extensive a collection as Spotify does. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, okay, totally.
Spotify does have a lot of covers also,
Mm.
which Apple doesn't.
Okay. So my favorite one of my other favorite albums, which you guys probably know, Dad especially, is probably Nujabes's Metaphorical Music,
That
because
is awesome.
yeah, it seems like uh it's just too good. There's a lot of good songs. It's like the spark of lo-fi, I guess you could say. And he came out with some pretty good hits such as like the Lovesick and you know, all of his really good songs really came out on that album, and I feel like that was definitely top tier for me.
And
Yeah.
that's we found out about them
Oh God.
because we watched that anime Samurai
Samurai
Champloo, right?
Champloo, Samurai Champloo.
So Samurai Champloo, shout out to them for opening up our eyes to Nujabes, right?
Mhm. Cuz they
So
had some amazing songs on there. Go check him out cuz he's very underrated, no lie. Anyway, what
all right.
about any of you?
All right. I have one other album I can mention. I don't think I'm just gonna double check the actual album itself. No, I do have the entire album downloaded. Okay, so all right. There is one artist other than Metallica that I deeply adore on a similar level. And he's been on a couple of different bands over the course of his career. He was okay. Very first, he was in Elf, if I remember correctly.
Elf,
Then, yeah, Elf. Don't judge
the
the name.
movie,
No, no,
the
no, no, no,
movie.
no, 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 not the movie.
Oh,
I
okay.
was
I was
about
Just
to
about to
say,
say,
no,
yo,
no.
what?
what
It's
does
a
Will
band.
Ferrell have to
It's a
do with this?
What the
band
hell?
called Elf.
Okay, I was about to say that would have been
Yes.
funny.
Then
Will
he
Ferrell is
moved.
singing.
Yeah,
Then he
Jesus
moved on
Christ.
over to a band called Rainbow or Richie Blackmore's Rainbow.
I
Yeah,
know
I
him.
already know what this is.
I know
Yeah.
him.
Then after that, he made his way on over to Black Sabbath, where he stayed for a decent amount of years until finally he made a band completely his own and named after himself. And I can only be talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Ronnie James Dio.
Dio.
Yes.
Yo, Dio.
But the album that I'm referencing that I have completely downloaded is the Heaven and Hell album from Black Sabbath when he was in Black Sabbath.
I knew it. I knew it.
That
How did I know?
album is just storytelling amazing. Like I
Mm,
absolutely love it.
mm,
Like from like just I love the way cuz see the thing about Dio is that he likes when he is singing the song, he's taking you on an adventure. And the
mm,
lyrics certainly reflect that. Like not even just talking about this album. You talk about when you I mean when look at Sacred Heart. You look at freaking okay, one of the ones from this album, Children of the Sea. Just the dude knows how to like literally rip you out of your seat and go, "Come on, bro. Let's go
mm.
do something fantastical." Like he
Jesus
is
Christ.
just a metal lyricist, amazing dude of awesomeness. Just incredible, absolutely incredible. Like my top, what is it, four favorite songs that I have like downloaded so that because Spotify has that download feature where it's like, okay, this is downloaded onto your phone. No
Spotify.
matter what, you can never like internet connection isn't really gonna bust a dent in this.
Mm,
The four songs that I have are Neon Nights, Children of the Sea, Lonely is the Word, and Heaven and Hell. Like
mm,
those are just peak Dio for me. This
mm.
is absolutely phenomenal. I can't praise it any more than I'm already doing now.
Okay.
Okay, that's
I'm
interesting.
gonna give an honorable mention really, really quick to one album, and the album is the breakthrough album for this band. Um, but there are two songs on there that I absolutely love, and so just for that, I have to give a shout out to Soundgarden and their album Super Unknown.
Mm.
Mm,
And Soundgarden, as you well know, it was Chris Cornell on the lead vocals for that.
mm,
He eventually went out and had his own solo career, and again, much like Chester Bennington, he found himself, in kind of dire straits with drugs and alcohol and things like that, and he took his life way too early from us. He was a singular talent, but um like I said, two songs there, that are just completely amazing. That's Black Hole Sun and Fell on Black Days. Those two songs are just they're in a different genre. They're kind of like grunge, but that album alone was considered to be one of the best grunge albums like ever. You know,
Mm.
and so just for that, I just wanted to give that honorable mention because I was just for some reason it just popped into my head and I was like, oh, Chris Cornell, oh, Soundgarden, oh, Black Hole Sun, oh, Fell
Black
on
Hole
Black
Sun.
Days. Those are amazing, amazing, amazing songs. And so just for that, I just wanted to throw that one out there. You know.
I'm also gonna give an honorable mention. Um, Andre, you've listened to Redbone and stuff.
Yes.
Yes. Childish Gambino's.
Childish is Gambino.
Jesus Christ. What the hell? Um, Childish Gambino's "Awaken My Love," which is basically the album that Redbone came from, is like straight fire. Like you said, Walt, it just popped into my head right now. Um, I mean, throughout the art, it's just so beautifully produced. Um, Different genres just mixed together. It goes from rock to funk to rap, etc., etc., and straight up just all slappers, no lie. So go check out that album.
All right. So on that note, I think we're gonna wrap this musical, lyrical episode up, right? I think
Hmm.
we've covered enough. There's plenty of other albums. There's plenty of other songs.
Yeah.
Like I could drop LL Cool J in there.
Mm,
I could drop Tribe Called Quest.
mm.
I can put in um, other bands like you know I don't know. We could go on for days with this stuff.
Basically,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna cut it short right now. Thank you everybody for listening in to this musical episode of the CrossGen podcast. Again, we're on every Tuesday. Um, Make sure to go out and check out every place that you consume your podcast, whether it be Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts. Um, we're there. We're waiting. Just listen. And please remember to review, rate, and subscribe to the podcast. That's the best and easiest way to give us, a little love. Right?
Best and
Yes.
easiest.
So, for me, I'm Walt. Guys,
Hail to the Jarnished. That's gonna be my
Oh
exit.
my.
I dedicate
Oh
my
my
outro
God.
to the Jarnished.
No, the Jarnish is
Garnished.
whack. Jarnish is whack.
The Garnished is awesome.
Uh, Eli the Creator,
Okay,
and yeah.
that works.
I mean, I guess I don't know.
Chicky, what?
What the heck? Anyway, and wait. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, what are you supposed to say, huh?
Yes. May our singles.
May our
That
musical
doesn't make any sense.
careers cross again.
May our sound
I mean,
bars
yeah.
cross again.
No.
I don't
Doesn't
know.
work?
No. The may our musical careers cross again, because like then it's like a collab, like when they intersect, and it's like, it's like crazy, really cool. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Later, people.
Goodbye.
Later. Goodbye.